Alright. Let's go strangle Shinji to death. And Saber will be fine. She'll take a nap on the rooftop. It's fine. Nobody saw her, like, amazing Excalibur attack. It's fine. Let's just go beat up Shinji now. If Saber defeated Ryder, I have to catch Shinji and have him relinquish his status as a master. High-pitched footsteps echo in the dark. Mato Shinji flees through the dark hallways.
なんだよ、なんなんだよあの女。あんなデタラメあっていいのかよ。ライダーのホーグは一番強いんだろう。なのにどうして負けるんだよ。セーバーのくせにあんなホーグ持ちやがって。不公平だ、不公平だ、不公平だ。
Rolling down the stairs, crashing to the wall, crawling on the ground, Mato Shinji heads for the ground level. In his mind, the image of the light that slashed Ryder will not fade. Exactly as he says, that noble phantasm is an abnormal existence. The holy sword that appears divine to its allies looks like a devil's creation from an imposing viewpoint. So he runs through the darkness. That light will come if he stops. He will vanish without a trace if he turns around. There's no time to pause. He puts more weight on his life than on the fact that he has lost his servant, or the fact that he isn't a master anymore.
何が私の宝具は無敵ですだ。あの口だけ女、よくも僕を騙してくれたな。余裕ぶっていたぶってるから寝首をかかれるんだよ、間抜けが。
Who's the idiot? I think you're the kettle calling the pot black. Or is that the saying? I can't remember. But basically, I think Shinji was the one who was being too confident, I think. But those were Mato Shinji's orders, not to kill them quickly. Ignoring Ryder's advice that they should kill them with one blow if they used the noble phantasm, he chose to corner Saber. Another tumble. Even though he's almost out of this darkness, he hits a huge wall. Now he's yelling at the wall. He punches it in anger. An unlikely sound is made. Mato Shinji looks at what he thought was a wall, and at his arm bent up like a puzzle ring, and even forgets to scream because of fear. Laughter fills the air. In the tense darkness, the silver hair of a white girl appears. The moment of recognition, the instant he realizes what's in front of him, Mato Shinji is terminated. Oh man, we didn't get to kill him ourselves. Arrgh. Kill stealer. I run through the dark hallway. I can't see, but I'm unable to follow Shinji, because there are no other sounds. Shinji's footsteps echo through the hallway, so it's easy to follow him. It's a sudden change. The sound I was hearing was nearby, and there's still some distance to the elevator. As far as I remember, there's no reason for Shinji to stop in the middle of the hallway. I walk quietly in, advance with caution. I see the change quickly. The spot where Shinji's footsteps died. In the hallway that was empty on my way to the rooftop, there is a red puddle. My mind freezes. Before I can think about what happened here, my body reacts. I can't be here. My senses trained by Saber are telling me to go back to the rooftop as fast as possible if I value my life. Well, I guess Ilya was here this whole time. She caught wind of what happened in this battle, I guess. And I guess that's what happens to Shinji every time, right? Even if we don't follow him, or we, I guess, wait for the battle to be over and then pick up Saber, I guess Shinji just gets, well, terminated by Ilya's servant. Either way. Which again, I wish I could have terminated Shinji myself. Damn it. But then I wonder, did Shiro not see the puddle of blood last time when he, for example, when we, again, waited for the battle to be over and then pick up Saber and go home? There was no scene of him seeing that pool of blood, which is weird. So maybe he didn't, maybe it was too dark, I don't know. Maybe he doesn't see it every time, but I guess this time we do know that Shinji was killed. Controlling my nausea, I run towards Saber. Saber doesn't look well at all. She has sweat on her brow and her breathing is weak yet irregular as if she has a fever. I call out to her timidly, but she doesn't answer. She's unconscious. I touch her forehead. I automatically pull my hand back. It's unusually hot. If this is a fever, she's over 40 degrees. Even when I call out to her, her only reply is heavy breathing. I don't know what the hell's going on. I don't know, but we can't just stay here like this. And we just take her home. Once again. Pick up Saber up. She's light. She was light before, but she's lighter now. No, more than that, she's... Saber is still Saber. I'm angry at myself for hesitating. Damn it. So what if she's a hero? No matter who Saber is, she's here right now and she's warm. How stupid of me to think there's a wall between us in spite of that. I run, still holding Saber in my arms. There's no feeling of victory. All I feel is Saber in my arms, breathing painfully. Once again, we go home. And we meet up with Rin. And yeah, I was wondering, like, I guess, as we run home, we don't really see, I guess, Ilya as well? Like, I assume they dragged off Shinji's corpse somewhere? I don't know. I wonder why. I guess Ilya didn't really want to fight us at the moment. I mean, she could have, like, just went up to the rooftop and finished us off, but guess not. Oh well.
和室に寝かせてきたけど、あの分じゃしばらく目を覚まさないでしょうね。
そうか。遠坂がいてくれて助かった。俺じゃあ、セイバーの手当てなんてできないからな。
まあ、鎧を脱がせて楽にさせただけだから、お礼を言われるほどじゃないわ。セイバーの体も良くならないし、私は何もしてないもの。
But still, having Tosaka around helped. She worked out Saber's situation and advised me to take her armor off and let her sleep. It's been an hour since then. Somehow, communicating with the unconscious Saber, Tosaka took her armor off.
それで、何があったの?
Which is interesting, because I always thought the armor just kind of like, appeared and disappeared whenever Saber wanted. But I guess if she's unconscious, we had to physically remove it.
シンジを探しに行って、帰ってきたと思ったらセイバーがあれでしょ? 一波乱あったのはわかるけど、説明してくれないかしら?
I hesitate. Saber's noble phantasm. Okay, so yeah, so in this, I guess, timeline, we know about her phantasm. I should avoid revealing her true name. Yeah, we know her true name. Which is, actually, that might be a bad thing because, as we've talked about before, if Shuro knows her true name and he gets, oh, I don't know, mind controlled or some sort of hypnosis, he'll end up revealing it. So actually, it might be bad for us to have went to the roof early. Interesting. Well, we'll find out what happens, I guess, later on. I don't know if that's a thing that will happen, but it might be, again, like it might be a long-term consequence, similar to how when we rejected Rin's request for an alliance, you know? Who knows? Oh well.
ライダーを倒した。シンジはレイジを失ってリタイアしたよ。ただ、その時にセイバーがホーグを使って、その後に倒れたんだ。
Oh, and I forgot to actually read. Saber is nothing I should avoid. Revealing a true name, it's not something I can reveal but by my judgment alone. Well, as I said before, you might reveal it even without your own judgment, Jiro. Oh no.
セイバーの宝具ね。まあ、追求するのは勘弁してあげるわ。今のあなたたちはそれどころじゃないものね。
Actually, what did Shinji retired, I guess. Shinji retired, quote unquote.
それどころじゃないってどういうことだ？
言葉通りの意味よ。あなただってうすうすは気づいているんでしょ？
Yeah, because
このままじゃセイバーが消えるってことぐらい。
Because she used up all her magical energy doing that. Calmly, Tosaka mentions the result I have avoided thinking about.
消えるって、セイバーが消えるっていうのか？お前。
当然でしょ。セイバーの魔力はほとんど空っぽなのよ。セイバーの宝具がどんなものだったかは知らないけど、よっぽど魔力を使うものだったんでしょうね。セイバーは自分の中の魔力をほぼ消費してしまった。今彼女が苦しんでいるのはね、消えようとしている自分を必死に留めているからよ。
魔力がないから消える？セイバーは傷を負ってもいないのに消えるっていうのか？
ええ。サーバントにとっては外的ダメージより魔力切れの方が深刻な問題よ。霊体であるサーバントに肉体を与えているのは魔力だもの。それがなくなれば消えるしかない。もっともそんなことにならないようにマスターはサーバントに魔力を送るんだけど、あなたはそれができないでしょ。だからセイバーは自分の魔力だけで戦うしかない。切れたらそれまでよ。こんなこと一番初めに説明したでしょ。
That you did? That's certainly what Saber told
け
me.
ど、今までは大丈夫だったじゃないか。セイバーだって眠っていれば持ち直すって。
それはセイバーの魔力量が桁外れだったからよ。そうね。確かにセイバーの魔力はまだ残ってる。彼女ならまだ消えずに肉体を保つぐらいの魔力は回復できるとは思う。けど結局はそこ止まりよ。セイバーはずっと今の状態で戦うことになる。宝具を使うなんてもってのほか。次に宝具を使えばセイバーは間違いなく消え去るでしょうね。
次に宝具を使えば消える。
Oh no, first of all, I can't let her fight in this state. I don't want to see her slumped over in pain again.
理解できた？結局セイバーを以前の状態に戻す方法は2つだけよ。マスターがサーバントに魔力を提供するか、サーバントが自分で魔力を補充するか。
To have a servant collect magical energy herself. That would mean killing innocent people like Ryder did.
まさかセイバーはそんなことはしない。セイバー自身がそんなことはしないと言ったんだ。
でしょうね。一般人を犠牲にするぐらいならセイバーは潔く消えるでしょう。なら方法は一つだけよ。セイバーを消したくないのならあなたが魔力を提供するしかないわ。
それは できるならとっくにそうしてるさ。けど俺は魔力を提供する方法なんて知らない。あいにく遠坂みたいに何でもできるってわけじゃないんだ。
まあね、共有の魔術を教えてあげても間に合わない。シロは魔術師に向いてないから覚えるのに1年ぐらいかかるだろうし、覚えたところで使えないわ。まあ召喚時にセイバーとパスは通っているはずだから、まだ他に方法があるかもしれないけど。いい？セイバーを助けたいのなら彼女自身に人を襲わせて魂を食べさせるしかない。それはあなたにも分かってると思うけど。
Yep, just kill some people, collect their souls, level up. You know, just like in Dark Souls. Anyway. That's the most realistic measure. What that means.
もちろんセイバーは嫌がるでしょ。けど放っておけば遅かれ早かれセイバーは消えて、あなたは他のマスターから狙われることになる。
Saber will disappear? I can't even imagine such a thing. I feel her body heat in my hands, which were carrying her.
なら答えは一つよ。霊樹を使いなさい、エミヤ君。それで最悪の事態は避けられる。
That means ordering Saber to kill innocent people. I can't say anything. I resent what Tosaka is saying, but at the same time, another part of me recognizes that this is the only solution.
決断はあなたに任せるわ。セイバーは眠らせておけば落ち着くだろうけど、それでも限界は近いでしょうね。
Tosaka leaves the living room. I can't even look up. I can only listen to Tosaka's departing footsteps. Oh, it's the next day. Another dream. Artoria. The girl who had just finished her rite of passage will be known by that name from that day on. Artoria? It was a time of chaos and war. It began with the demise of an empire. An empire believed to be indestructible was only awaiting its destruction at the hands of invading barbarians. To prepare for the war against these barbarians, the empire deprived this island country of any military forces. That was the beginning. Once her country lost the empire's protection, it could not escape becoming independent, and it broke into smaller countries in no time. The barbarian invasions, self-destructive strife between clans, a long period of war that would later be called the Dark Ages. She was born into this period as the heir to the throne. It was a long period of chaos. The king believed the Magus' prophecy and yearned for the birth of his appointed successor. But the child that was born was not the one the king desired. The child was not a boy. Even if the child was fated to become king, you cannot make a child that was not a boy his successor. The girl was entrusted to the king's vassals and was raised as a child of a mere knight. The king fell into despair, but the Magus was delighted. The sex of the one who would become king had never mattered. He was confident that the fact of the girl being separated from the castle until the day of the prophecy was proof that she would become king. The girl grew up as the successor under the simple and wise old knight. The old knight did not really believe the Magus' prophecy. He just felt the same air from the girl as he did from his king, so he felt that he must raise her as a knight, and he wished her to grow. But the knight did not even have to wish for such a thing, as the girl trained day after day to become stronger than anyone. If only a king can save a ruined country headed for death, the girl swore to bear a sword for that reason alone, without ever being told so. So, the day of the prophecy arrived. Knights and lords from around the country gathered to be selected as the king. Every one of them expected the selection to be through jousting if the most superior one was to become a king. But the only thing prepared at the place of selection was a naked sword stuck in a stone. On the hilt of the sword was a golden inscription. "Whosoever pulleth out this sword of this stone is rightwise king born of England." Many knights grabbed the sword, following that command. But no one was able to pull the sword out, and the knights began to the expected method of selection by jousting. As the girl was only an apprentice, she was not qualified to joust. The girl neared the deserted stone of selection and reached out for the sword without hesitation.
いやいや、それを手に取る前にきちんと考えた方がいい。
When she turned around, before her was the most feared magus in the country. The magus said that she would no longer be human when she took a hold of the sword. The girl only responded with a nod. Becoming a king means no longer being human. She was prepared for that ever since she was born. In short, a king is someone who kills everyone to protect everyone. The young girl thought about it every night and shuddered until morning came. No day passed that she did not fear that fact, but the girl said that it would end this day. The sword was pulled out as if it were only natural to do so, and the place was filled with light. In that instant, she became something not human. The king's gender does not matter. No one will care about the king's appearance or even notice it if the king acts like a king. Even if anybody noticed that the king was female, there would be no problem if she was a good king. Perhaps because of the sword's magic, the girl's growth stopped at that time as well. Many knights feared it as ominous, but most of them praised their master's immortality as divine. And thus, the time of the king who would become a legend started. The battles of the new king were indeed the acts of a god of war. The king always led from the front. No enemies could stand in her way. Artoria, the god of war. There is no defeat for her for a body admired as a dragon in human form. For 10 years and 12 battles, she only knew victory. Those were the days she ran through as the king. She never turned back and was never disgraced. She was raised as the king and fulfilled her obligations as the king. Is that why I saw such a figure? Her soul must still be on the battlefield. Before daybreak, resting her body in the wind under the indigo blue sky, she just gazes into the distance. The sky is high and the clouds are flowing fast. Under the clear air, she's looking at the great army she must face with her sword in hand. That figure is burned in and will not go away. She and her sword are one, the sword from the stone that chose the king. I think the brilliance of the sword that selected her fate is also her brilliance. But I wonder in the dream, that sword is different from the one she had. It is similar, but different. The one she used last night is different from this sword. So, how did she lose such a fine sword? When I wake up, I'm in my room, and somehow I guess, got a glimpse of, well, Artoria's backstory? I mean, I guess we know her true name right now, as Shiro. Just from Excalibur, which is, I mean, that's obviously... I mean, I probably, I mean... It's kinda obvious, right? And I kind of already knew this before even going through the visual novel. She's Rule 63 King Arthur. That's what she is. I wonder if it says in her thing, actually. Yeah, right here. Artoria. That's her true name. And, do we see her... Aha! Sword of Promised Victory. Excalibur. Wow. A sword of light. It is not a weapon made by men, but a divine weapon forged by the planet. It is a noble phantasm that is the greatest of holy swords. It transforms the possessor's magical energy into light, increases its kinetic energy by converging and accelerating it, and allows for usage of sorcery on the level of divine spirits. A++ rank. Noble Phantasm, range 1 to 99, amazing. Maximum target, 1,000 people. Anti-castle Noble Phantasm. To an observer, it looks like a giant beam of light, but its target point is the tip. It is the ultimate slash that cuts through everything in the area the light goes through. Its enormous power heats space around the tip, and as a result, it is interpreted as a wave of light that mows across the earth. You could also call it a directed energy weapon. Sword beam. Amazing. Oh, and I guess we know her history now, because Shiro Googles it. That is what probably happened. Interesting. What about Ryder? I guess she's already dead, so we don't know her backstory. We don't know her true name either, I think? Yeah, we don't know her true name. But we know about Bellerophon? Bellerophon, or whatever. Reigns of the Heroic Cavalry. All abilities increased by rank when in use. AC plus 100 will also be in effect. AC? Armor class? I swear. It really is D&D. It is a physical attack that destroys the target by controlling a divine beast and using its powerful charge. Supposedly, the maximum speed is 400 or 500 kilometers per hour. It is a noble phantasm of the highest level in both attack and defense, as defense also increases while in use due to Pegasus' divine protection. Bellerophon is the name of the young man in Greek mythology who supposedly managed to ride Pegasus. A+, anti-army, 2 to 50, 300. Very powerful noble phantasm, but not as strong as Excalibur. Yes, yeah, we can look at her history right here. The once and the future king, England's legendary hero, King Arthur. You look a bit different from what I see in the history books. He is a hero well known as the model for the knights, but it is said that he actually did exist. The real King Arthur was called Lux Bellorum, the King of Battles, and he was a great leader who led the 12 Knights of Northern England, Goldoden, against the foreign invasions by such people as the Picts and the Scottish. The identity of the real great leader, King Arthur, has many variations, and there is even an opinion that there were two people that correspond to the king. One was a pure Briton, Arthur, and another was Roman, Artorius. This opinion states that the legend of King Arthur that is known today is one story, merged from the accomplishments of these two. The legend of King Arthur is all too famous. The exceptional Magus Merlin prepared a sword and said, who's to pull out this sword of the stone is right wise king of all England. When Arthur pulled out the sword, he was recognized as the king of England, and with the knights of the Round Table gathered around him, he went through many adventures. Arthur was the child of the King of Britain, Uther Pendragon, and the wife of his servant, Duke Cornwall, the blue-eyed Egren. As the price for Merlin's assistance in ensuring the success of his love for Egren, he had to leave their child in Merlin's care. I will properly guide this child, one bearing a great destiny, and protect him from the crisis of the royal family. Merlin entrusted Arthur to Uther's loyal knight, Sir Ector. Okay, so that was the old knight that was mentioned in the little flashback, I guess. And Arthur was raised as his adopted child until the day he pulled out the chosen sword. The days of battle and troubles that followed after he pulled out the sword and became king became a great story of medieval knighthood. The great deeds of King Arthur, ruling over Camelot as the great king of knights, and saving England by leading many great men, are all one could ask from a hero. Arthur's all-too-famous sword, the holy sword Excalibur, was not the chosen sword. Rather, it was the treasured sword of fairyland given to him by the Lady of Lake, under Merlin's guidance after he lost the chosen sword. He lost the chosen sword. So the sword from the stone is actually not Excalibur, it's just a different kind of sword. So right now she has Excalibur, but yeah, again, mentioned in that weird dream flashback, she did have the original chosen sword, but not right now. After giving King Arthur the holy sword Excalibur, the fairy princess of the lake, Vivian, became his guardian. King Arthur's lifelong enemy, Princess Morgana, was in existence opposed to Arthur's guardian, Vivian, but Morgana herself was also a fairy of the lake that protects the king. King Arthur ordered the Knights of the Holy Round Table to search for the Holy Grail. In the King Arthur legend, the search for the Holy Grail comprised the core episodes in the story of the Knights of the Round Table. But only 3 knights were commanded to search, and King Arthur himself did not go on the journey. Of the 3 knights, the perfect knight Lancelot did not make it to the Holy Grail due to his unfaithful flirting, and his son Galahad did obtain the Holy Grail but abandoned it due to his lack of greed. Ooh. The end of the legend was marked by King Arthur's death. Arthur's life had been sought many times by the Princess Morgana, his older sister by a different father. At the end of the battle between him and the knight Mordred, born from the Princess Morgana's scheme, his legend closes its curtain. King Arthur's fall started when his most trusted knight Lancelot disappeared, after becoming ashamed about his affair with Arthur's wife, Guinevere. Oh hey, what's up, Penchostella? Is that you say your name? Just reading Artoria's backstory as we've just learned it, actually, in the story itself. Losing his trusted knight, losing the sheath of the holy sword, and even losing his own country while on a long expedition, King Arthur faced his last battle in the land of Hamland. And what do I already know about the Fate series? Well, I already I know from the Fate Grand Order Gadget game, as well as the anime, basically, Fate Zero and Fate Unlimited Blade Works. So I know a bit already, but again, I'm going through, like I mentioned this from the very beginning when I played this, that there is some, I guess, what do you call it? Some reason to go through the Fate route, because there is no good, anime adaptation of the Fate route with the Fate Stay Night series, as well as some extra stuff little lore tidbits that are not really expanded in the anime, as well as the bad ends too, right? The bad ends are never really explored in the anime, so that's a thing I want to collect as well. And I also want to try again, just going through the visual novel as if it's my first time, right? So I don't want to just go into just super spoily territory, just from the very beginning. I want to learn it as I go. And also, well, I don't really remember everything as well. Just the very important the important plot points maybe, And yeah, okay, so the Holy Sword Excalibur was entrusted to Sir Bedivere on the King Arthur's deathbed, and returned it to the Lady of the Lake. King Arthur's corpse was carried by the Ladies of the Lake to Avalon, the land where heroes sleep. A legend is handed down that King Arthur will awaken from his sleep in Avalon when England is in peril, so that he can save his homeland. Arthur bears the red dragon that symbolizes the British people, and he himself has the attributes of the dragon. Since he has the karma of the dragon, the embodiment of divine mystery and the transcendent, he has strong magical qualities. On the other hand, he is weak against heroes who have defeated dragons in the past. Same. And I guess, again, really it's just King Arthur, but waifu. Amazing. And alright, back to the main story, I guess. When I wake up, I'm in my room. It's light outside. I guess I fell asleep after coming back to my room, unable to make a decision. Right. Again, so just to remind myself, we just woke up from Artoria. Again, kind of weird saying her name now, because normally for the whole time I was just saying Saber, but since we know her name, it's Artoria. Used Excalibur, but used up all her magical energy, and we don't really have a way to replenish it. And oh yeah, that dream where we did learn a little bit of her backstory. I guess Shiro had it. And it was a strange dream. Events I shouldn't know about. Things I don't know about Saber. Is it possible for me to dream about them? I vaguely think. Saber's true identity that was hidden. To be honest, I still can't accept who she is. Yeah, isn't King Arthur supposed to be a guy? But she's a girl now. She's a really cute waifu. Kinda weird. Anyway, Saber is just Saber. I can't change my attitude, and I don't think Saber will want to, or will want that either. The sword from yesterday suited her, but the sword in my dream also suited her. Now, you could say I was fascinated. With yesterday's sword and the sword in my dream, it seems I fall for swords easily. Are swords your waifus, Shiro? I also thought Lancer's Lance was beautiful when I saw it, but my interest in swords is exceptional. He really loves swords, apparently. It seems I'm easily attracted to swords. Sword-chan. I take a deep breath and reach up to my sweaty face. I wipe the sweat off my forehead. Even though it's winter, my body is burning. It feels like my blood is getting hotter, and I feel restless. I guess he just really loves the sword. Anyway, my body has been strangely hot. The hand that bears the command spell is hot as if it's holding a pocket heater. I take a deep breath to try to calm myself. Saber has not woken up even once since last night, but it still seems she's getting better. Her breathing is calm now, and there's no sign she is gasping in pain. Saber is sleeping peacefully. This is an everyday morning scene. If I let her sleep like this, she might get back to normal. Then there will be no need to have her kill people. Then, just like now, Saber will be with me and... I hit the wall. I'm so weak it makes me sick. I get up, trying not to make a sound. I don't know when Saber will wake up. I have to make a decision before she does. Tosaka must still be asleep. There's no energy in the house and it feels like it's been abandoned. No, I'm just depressed. I can't decide, so I'm wandering around in the gray state, and that causes the world to be vague. I hear something cut through the air. I remember that sound. Yeah. I don't feel like cooking breakfast right now, so I'll take a walk and check it out. It's much colder than usual outside. It must be really cold if my burning body feels it. It's so cold that it might snow. The sound is coming periodically. I cross the yard, breathing out white puffs. I wonder who's in the shed. He's there in the front of the shed. I mean, there can only be one he, aside from Shiro, at least in this house. and he wears a red jacket. I guess I kind of knew he would be here, so I wasn't surprised. He must have been shooting arrows until now. He lowers his bow in displeasure as soon as he sees me.
そうだな。人んちの庭で弓なんて引くな。矢が当たったらどうするつもりだ。
どうするつもりもない。もとより矢など使っていないのだ。いていないものが当たる道理はなかろう。
Oh, so he's just shooting nothing? Weird. He doesn't need to tell me that. The sound was Archer's bowstring cutting through the air. I don't know why, but Archer isn't using the arrows, but only pulling his bow.
いい弓だな。今まで納得いかなかったけど、お前本当にアーチャーだったんだ。
You really are an archer, despite not really using your bow.
さて、私はお前が知っている弓使いとは違うからな。弓道など聞かれても答えられんぞ。お前たちの弓は己に当てる射であり、私のは敵に当てる矢だ。お前の言うアーチャーというのは礼節を重んじる者のことだろう。
He curls his lip offensively. As I thought, I can't get along with him.
誰もお前に弓のことを聞こうだなんて思ってないよ。ただ、何をしているか気になっただけだ。
見ての通り、調子を測っているのだが、セイバーにつけられた傷も癒えた。いつまでも見張り役というわけにもいくまい。
I see. He's healed now. Then that means Tosaka should return to the war. I turn away. Since Tosaka and Archer are rejoining the battle, I must make a decision. I have to think seriously somewhere I can be alone.
斬新という言葉があるな。
え？
ことを済ませた後に保つ間のことだ。私の弓術とお前の弓道で唯一共通しているものがそれだと思うのだが。
なんだよ。お前なんかに発説を解かれる覚えはないぞ。
I remember something about this. Actually, I think wasn't it the route? Well, within the Fate route, we tried to go to the unlimited Bladeworks route, and we got a bad end. I think we had a scene like that where we talked about, the stages of Kyudo or Japanese archery.
まあ聞け。矢を放った後、体は自然と場に止まるという。それを斬新というそうだな。
Certainly, there are 8 movements in archery called the 8 stages of shooting. The last one, the follow through, is the state that comes after shooting an arrow, but
ああ、それがどうしたって言うんだ、お前。
心構えの話だ。斬新とは己の行為、放った矢が的中するかを確かめるものではない。矢とは放つ前にすでに的中しているものだ。射手は自らのイメージ通りに指を離す。ならば当たるか当たらぬかなど確認する必要はない。射の前に当たらぬと思えば当たらぬし、当たると思えば当たっているのだから。
そんなことあるか。どんなに当たるって思っても当たらない射はある。思うだけで当たるって言うんなら誰だって百発百中だ。
that's weird. It's funny that Shiro would say that because isn't he like the super amazing at archery? Right? He does exactly that. He just thinks that he will hit the target, and he does every time.
そうかな。少なくともお前は百発百中だろ。
His statement makes my heart jump. But that's certainly...
まあ、そんな話はどうでもいい。言いたいことは一つだけだ。斬新とは、矢が当たるかどうかを見極めるものではない。放った矢がどのような結果になるかなど、 分かりきったことだからな。ならば斬新とはその結果を受け入れるための心構えではなかったか。
分かってる。要するに最後まで見届けろって言いたいんだろう、お前は。
そういうことだ。セイバーのことは聞いた。彼女がこのような状態になるのは初めから分かっていたことだろう。魔力の提供もなしで戦っていればいつかは消える。それはもう決まっていたことだ。ならば
All that's left is to accept the result. Is he saying that no matter what happens to Saber, because of my decisions, all I can do is see through what happens? I turn my back to Archer. I will leave this guy once and for all.
それともう一つ、気がついていないようだから教えておこう。
I hear a voice behind me.
セイバーはな、宝具を使えば自分が消えると分かっていたはずだ。彼女はおそらく最後まで宝具を使う気はなかったのだろう。
The usual offensive tone isn't present in his voice.
にもかかわらず、宝具を使った理由は一つ。セイバーは自身が消えることよりお前を守ることを選んだのだ。それを決して忘れるな。
His voice holds only honest sincerity. Saber chose to sacrifice herself to save us, and isn't that what Shiro always says? He wants to sacrifice himself to save others? It's kind of ironic. And also, let's see. I thought I saw the status screen update. Did Archer's update? Because we just talked to him, no? Weird. What about weapon? Anything new? Oh, Caliburn. Caliburn. Golden Sword of Assured Victory. A holy sword that symbolizes England's King of Knights, King Arthur. It is a symbol of a king pulled out from the chosen stone under the guidance of Magus Merlin. It is a different sword from the one granted by the Fairy of the Lake, and its characteristics as a noble phantasm differ. But it seems Saber is more attached to this holy sword. Since a sword is a symbol of power, a sword carried by a king usually ends up being degraded to the status of an ornament covered by decorations. This is the biggest difference between Excalibur and Caliburn. In exchange for being a beautiful sword, its effectiveness as a sword or as a weapon does not match that of Excalibur. In the legend, it is said that it broke when King Arthur fought in a battle going against the principles of chivalry. So this is Caliburn, different from Excalibur. So I guess there's that. I want to quickly go through. Is there anything? Did we learn anything? Weird. I thought the status screen updated. I don't think we learned anything new. Just from Archer's conversation, though. Weird. Well, the park is empty as usual. Maybe it helps that it's colder today than usual. There's no one around, and it looks like I'm the only one out at this time. Now this is where we usually meet Ilya, right? I sit on the bench sluggishly. I came to a deserted place as I wished to. Isn't that a bad idea? Isn't that what we don't want to do? Because if we go to a deserted place, then we could be easily killed by anyone, any of the masters or their servants. Well, I guess it doesn't matter, because if we were attacked, we would die anyway, because Saber or Artoria isn't really at her 100% right now. Now that I'm here, I must decide what to do. There are no choices that allow me to postpone the problem. If I'm to end the Holy Grail War by defeating other masters, I need Saber to stay. Now, even without that, I don't want her to disappear. But that means having Saber attack people like Ryder did. There's no way I can do that. Making Saber do such a thing would be like telling her to die. First of all, Saber would surely refuse, but when I hang my head, I see my left hand. I have 2 command spells left. If I use one, I can force Saber to follow my command. I bite my lip and discard the ridiculous thought. I don't know how long I remain slumped on this bench, but just as my fingers start to tremble from the cold... Oh, here you are. I'm suddenly called.
やっぱりそうだ。こんにちは、シロ。浮かない顔してるけど、何かあったの？
イリア、お前また一人でこんなところまでやってきたのか。危ないぞ。どこにマスターの目が光ってるか。
As I start to say that, I'm amazed at my stupidity. Ilya is the master too. I shouldn't be worrying about this. And anyway, aren't we enemies?
悪い。今はイリアと話をする余裕がないんだ。せっかく会えたけど、話し相手になってやれない。今日は冷えるし、帰った方がいいぞ。
Sitting down on the bench, I dismiss Ilya. There are things I need to talk to her about, but I have my hands full of Saber right now. What's going on? Ilya doesn't say anything, and she just stares at me as if I'm a stranger.
イリア。いや、別にお前を邪険にしてるんじゃないんだ。今はちょっといろいろと立て込んでいて。
知ってるわ。セイバーが消えかけてるんでしょ。
Oh, she knows.
それで、シローはどうしようかって考えてるのよね。
Suddenly, the girl in front of me says this coldly as if she is someone else.
イリア。
そんなことで悩むなんてバカみたい。シローがそんなだから、ライダーのマスターにも逃げられたのよ。負けたやつなんて殺しちゃえばいいだけなのに。
I move my legs. I know it's bad to stay sitting down, so I put my power in them to stand up. But my body does not move as if entranced by Ilya.
イリア、お前、なんでそんなこと。
言うまでもないでしょ。昨日の夜ね、私もあのビルにいただけよ。もっとも、さすがにビルの中で様子を見てるしかなかったけど。
Yeah, and why didn't you come and finish us off, Ilya? I mean, optimistically, maybe it's mercy, but I don't know. I try to move my arms and legs, but they won't move at all. I know it feels like they're stiffening the more I put power into them. It's those eyes. Looking into Ilya's red eyes is making my body go numb and...
あ、もう金縛りになったんだ。
Oh.
シロったら守りも何もないんだもの。一人でいれば簡単に捕まえられるって思ったけど、こんなに簡単に行くなんて可愛いな。
Well, I knew it.
無駄だよお兄ちゃん。そうなったらもう動けないわ。
I guess we're dead.
もうじき声も出なくなるけど、心配しなくていいよ。私もね、今日はお話をしに来たわけじゃないもの。
Murderous intent mixes into Ilya's gaze. This is the same Ilya as that night, when she was the master of Berserker. Gritting my teeth, I gather all my strength. But I can't even twitch my fingers. Every nerve in my body is wrapped by Ilya's stare.
だって、もうマスターでいてもしょうがないでしょ。セイバーが消えたら、シローは一人きりだもの。いつまでもマスターにさせてられないわ。戦う手段がなくなったシローなんて、 簡単に殺せるんだから。
Ilya raises her hand. Her white slender fingers touch my chest.
他の人に殺される前に見つけられてよかった。それじゃあ、おやすみなさい、お兄ちゃん。どうせセイバーも消えるんだから、早い方がすっきりするでしょ。
My vision fades. Sensation in my limbs is already gone, and now my vision is gone as well. How long has it been since I fell into this darkness? While I wonder whether or not I'm dead, my consciousness fades away. My body is burning. Even though my consciousness is deep in the darkness, my burning body is appealing that it is alive. You see, I guess I'm alive then. But even if that's the case, that's only for the moment. Ilya said it too.
戦う手段のないシローなんて簡単に殺せるんだから。
She's right. I can't fight at all without Saber. The Holy Grail War is a battle between servants. I cannot possibly match one of those servants. That fact has been proven many times already. It was a merciless beating. As Saber said, my battle against a servant is to survive. I couldn't even do that. I was cut all over my body, and on top of that, thrown to the ground from a third-floor window. I only survived because of an abnormality in my body that I don't even understand. That fact is so vexing that it makes me mad. I cannot stop the disaster occurring around me just because the one in front of me was unbeatable. Even though I chose to fight as a master to stop people getting hurt, but I could not protect them. It pisses me off. The superhero I'd admired since childhood always has to win, or it's meaningless. My body is burning. My whole body is demanding that I must win. But I don't have any means of winning nor a way to fight. How would I be able to fight? I don't have the skills to fight alongside Saber without being a burden to her.
それも間違いだ。エミやシローは格闘には向かない。お前の戦いは精神の戦い。己との戦いであるべきだからだ。
Suddenly, I remember the back of the man who said those words.
戦いになれば、エミやシローに勝ち目などない。お前のスキルでは、何をやってもサーバントには通じない。
I know. I realize that more than ever now.
ならば、せめてイメージしろ。現実で叶わない相手なら、想像の中で勝て。自身が勝てないのなら、勝てるものを幻想しろ。
He doesn't need to tell me something I already know. If I'm going to win, it'll only be in my head. But what could I win with? I can't imagine myself beating a servant. I can't handily deceive myself, and an image created by deceiving myself will be full of flaws. There's no way I would be able to match a servant, a first-class illusion with such a third-rate image. So, what will I be able to beat? And what will I beat it with? I'm searching for the answer to that question. Searching for the answer. Even now. A golden sword. It's a sword for her alone. I don't want it myself. It's just beautiful. I just want to hold it in my hands if it's permitted. It's a bad habit for an amateur magus. Since all I can do is examine the contents, I see such dreams unsuitable for my position. But if this is a dream, I should be allowed to at least think about it. First, I assume the basic structure and reproduce the composing material. Oh, the basic form when I use the strengthening magic isn't enough as I thought. Strengthening is changing something that's already there, so it's meaningless with something that isn't there at all. So, if I'm to remember that sword, I have to put more effort into it. It's well before the basics. Is the process full of waste that I came up with before Kiritsugu taught me how to use the strengthening magic. How was it supposed to take shape? That was a lot of periods. When I come to, I'm in a ridiculous place. I guess we're not completely dead. I thought we were dead just then. This isn't just some place I've never seen before. It has a bed with a gorgeous canopy, and a large carpet that makes it look like you could sink to your ankles. A stone fireplace that is not just decorative, but actually functional. The patterns on the wall aren't just wallpaper, as they are actually engraved. I'm used to mansions like Shinji's house, but this is on a different level. It's embarrassing to say, but this is like a castle you'd read about in fairy tales. My mind almost falls unconscious. My body is strangely heavy. Is my blood circulating poorly? I feel like I'll fall asleep again if I let my guard down. I try to remember with my hazy mind. Oh yeah, I was bound by Ilya and lost consciousness. So instead of outright murdering us, I guess we're just kidnapped. No one is in the room. My body feels heavy, but it seems I could at least raise my arm. Oh. My dazed mind instantly awakens. Realizing the danger I'm in, I study my situation first. Well, what a predicament.